Just another commission for this week that I did not film. It's another cat, finally. I was starting to think that people who have cats don't really get commissions ever. This one was actually super challenging because the reference photos were really like, they were like a ghost of a cat, you know? Just the shape, which I used here, and some clues as to what kind of cat it was. And so luckily it was just a white cat, so I was able to supplement the references with different pictures of different white cats. So that's definitely an option. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, I wouldn't want to try to do that with, you know, like a pet that is very particularly patterned or something like that, because details like a spot on the nose or, you know, shape of whatever is really important. But in this case, I got lucky, I think. Man, there goes my low-tech light setup. And I realize, like, the color of the light is really important. I found an LED bulb in the closet that is a cool color tone, so that's good, because the other bulb I had was super yellow, and I can't deal with the yellow, guys. I just can't. I'm just really sad, because this was a OttLite. This was an OttLite bulb, and I did buy it a million years ago, and I have been using it all day, every day, like even as a regular light. I'm not entirely sure if it's really like broken. It was almost like it was just loose, but I'm gonna have to like investigate a bit, because I'm sad because I can't find these anywhere. So, and I bought it at Michael's, and now like they don't carry that anymore, and these are really good. So on the other hand, now I can at least maybe just use a regular cool light bulb, and then now I can actually use my secondary lamp in the winter so that I can get light on both sides of my image and eliminate shadows and stuff, and not have unevenly temperature light when filming videos and stuff like that. So I just have to remember which one. Oh, it says daylight. Gosh, the weather this week has been so amazing. I just want to go outside every day. But what we did do is I put out my tropical plants onto the patio to get some actual sunlight. We have a new little seedlings popping up. I don't know what they are. If I'm lucky, they kind of look a little bit like cherry trees. And this big mysterious plant, which I'm hoping is honesty, but I'm not sure. But whatever it is, it's about to do something big. So... And yeah, on one hand, I'm like super glad that we've gotten to the point where my garden is just kind of doing itself and filling all of the spaces. But on the other hand, it's kind of sad because I'm at the point where I don't have any room to get new plants that I come across and give them a try. And I wish I could have just a little bit more variance in color, but what's here is quite happy, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm not good at gardening, so if you don't get a whole lot of sunlight and are really bad at taking care of plants, maybe try some of these.
Why is it so warm outside? It's supposed to be only 20 degrees. I thought 20 degrees was like a nice warm room temperature, right? Little neighborhood walks are just not that satisfying. But I think it's finally shorts weather. Check out my workplace setup back here. Headphones. Phone thing. Video games. I was thinking of like custom painting this thing. I know that's a thing that people do. And, you know, it's not the color I would have preferred, honestly. I'm not sure if I should, because, I mean, whatever I do with it's probably not going to be super indelible, beautiful, and perfect, maybe, I don't know. That would require a little more planning. I was looking online, and these are on eBay for something like $100, $70 to $100, which seems kind of wild to me. Like, who wants a Game Boy Color that badly? I bought this for like $10, but that was like before, I guess, they got popular again. I don't know. My favorite thing though is like the only game that I actually play on it is this like counterfeit video cartridge. It literally just says game on it. And it says it has 40 games, but it's literally just 5 games repeated over and over again in the list. So you can select one of 5 games. They're all the same. I just play Dr. Mario, and that's pretty much it. It's funny because like it says Dr. Mario, and then it says Daifu Mario, and then it says Mario Polyclinic, Little Mario, Puzzle Mario. So it's like the same game. They just named it 5 different things. Art stuff. I have been sluggish. I've just been doing videos. Like, apart from the few commissions I get, sometimes I get requests for commissions and then people just kind of like disappear, which is fine. But it makes me very curious. Like, what happened? Anyway, that's silly. One thing, I was filming for Patreon. So for Patreon, I was filming a little practice where I did the same image, one in monochrome and one in a very limited palette, just to like test out to see, because sometimes I give like advice on how to start doing things, and I want to like try it out to see if it's actually something that's reasonable. And I still can't really tell because, I mean, I'm not an expert on watercolor at all, and I don't even really know how to approach teaching anyone to do anything. I don't know, I just do what I want with it. So I don't know if like having like a limited palette is actually really explaining anything, or if it's just unnecessarily difficult, because I did find it challenging to fight using the colors that look really nice together and then trying to fight the urge in my mind to try to recreate the color that I'm seeing in the image, even though recreating colors from nature sometimes kind of boring. I think using pre-planned color palettes actually makes more interesting art sometimes. So that was kind of a challenge for me. I don't know if that would be a challenge for someone starting out, or if that would be totally reasonable for someone starting out as a way of just learning how to use the medium without worrying about picking colors and stuff like that. And then our teacher tried to teach us watercolor in class in high school, and I remember like feeling sort of like rebellious about like, I don't want to do wet on wet or like tape down my papers and practice making marks and salt and stuff. Like, I don't want to do any of that. I just want to color stuff and paint stuff. So I'm really curious to know what your experience is like and what is a better approach for learning watercolor, because I didn't do it in the typical kind of way. I hated all the rules, so I don't know. Good shot. Where'd he go? Oh. Must be a spooky ghost. You know, I was saying I was spending too much time on like commission stuff. I'm totally fine with that, because like, what would I be doing otherwise, right? Like, but yeah, I'm just like realizing like, oh my gosh, like I spent a bunch of time last night looking for like reference photos for an idea, and then I spent a bunch of time just kind of like making mock-up images, and they're kind of neat. I've had a good little like stretch where I'm doing a bunch of like pet commissions one after another. It's like, apart from the fact that I am like including reference photo compiling and sketching and like stuff like that, I go like way over budget on these things. But it's been a really nice, smooth sailing kind of experience. I haven't had too many
commissions where I'm having so many redo requests coming back at me. And I know like some artists get to the point where they just get sick of doing art for other people all the time. And part of me like does kind of worry about that a little bit, because if I'm just doing pictures of pets, you know, I'm not doing anything that's really like expressive. But at the same time involves a lot of like background, lots of like plants anyways, and that's kind of the stuff that I paint. Like it's even in the style that I paint, right? So I've just been kind of having a blast. But as a result, like despite the fact that the stuff that I've been doing this last little bit is actually more valuable to me, I still feel kind of like I'm not accomplishing very much, which is hilarious. So I'm just gonna have to like feel okay that I don't have like a bajillion things to post on social media right now, or like I haven't filmed anything this week for say a video. I've been not recording every commission just because I don't know if it seems kind of like voyeuristic. Oh, but I do have a finished art journal that I can record. So probably a journal flip I can record. What's the deal with bouncing balls? I just gently kicked 2 balls over here. 2. And both of them have literally vanished in midair. Like, there's no way that they just disappear from the spot. Oh, there he is. Okay. This ball is very meaningful to me. So I used to work like at a Safeway for a while. Somebody started buying these bouncy balls from the candy machines or whatever, but some of them have bouncy balls in it. And one person bought one and started just bouncing it around while they were working between customers and stuff. It was really funny. And so everybody in the entire store started buying these. Employees were split anyway into 2 tiers. So one tier gets paid a livable wage, and then the other half was just only got paid minimum wage. All of the older employees would start to get super annoyed that we were all bouncing these stupid balls everywhere. We actually went to a floor meeting where you stand around the circle and the whole big boss comes down and gives us our, sales numbers. And all of us took one of these balls out of our pockets and just started bouncing it at the same time. Their souls were leaving their body as we were doing that. And that just makes me laugh. And that's what I think about when I pick up this ball. Isn't it pretty? Other than that, that was technically the best job I ever had. Still wasn't really for me because my brain was not nearly stimulated enough to be healthy.